What's going on, guys? Alloutblitzle here, and today I am back with a guide on sequencing. Last week I ran a poll on my community tab where I asked my viewers on what sort of facet of the Pokemon trading card game they would like me to make a guide on. I had noticed that a lot of my viewers were newer players, and I wanted to make just some guides to help them improve at the Pokemon trading card game, and I had posted my guide to how to prepare for tournaments a couple weeks ago. I'll link that one in the description. But I wanted to make some more general guides. So this one will be about sequencing and why it matters and what exactly it is, and then I'll do a couple situations on how to sequence them properly. Sequencing is always something that's difficult to exactly lay out some rules on that you should always do this and always do that, because I'm going to do my best. I'm going to lay these scenarios out, but definitely I can't just say you should always play this quick ball because you always will never need it, because I can't tell you that you're always going to be in that certain situation. So if I need to clarify anything in the comments below, please let me know, because I'm more than happy to explain or clarify anything. I do apologize if my voice is kind of hoarse. I am feeling a little sick, so we got to keep pushing forward with our daily content though. So first we are going to define sequencing. And sequencing is the optimal order to play your cards in order to give yourself the best chance to draw desired cards. The Pokemon trading card game is very easy to learn, but sequencing is definitely the hardest thing to master, because if you've watched my videos, you've definitely noticed that I would say I'm a veteran experienced player. I've been playing the Pokemon trading card game for 8 years. And if you watch my videos, you know that I make sequencing errors in probably just about every single game that I play. So it's important to play your cards in the correct order, because I can play a certain card before I play a different card, and I can have a better chance of drawing a more beneficial card. So even though sometimes there'll be just percentage points of difference, it does matter what order to play your card. So sequencing is when you'll sometimes hear on, if you watch a PTCR stream or just watch any Pokemon YouTube video, you hear someone talk about sequencing. Sequencing is the optimal order to play your cards. Now you're probably asking me, why does it matter what order I play my cards in? And I'm here to tell you, even though at times it is just a fraction of a percentage difference-wise, in a game of numbers, even the slightest bump of odds in your favor can be the difference between hitting what you need and missing. And you have to think, how many times have you had a game where you just need that boss's orders, or that item card, or that tool card you need to win the game, and you dig through all the way through your deck, you get down to like less than 10 cards, but you don't find it. And sequencing is just building toward that point at the end of the game where I'm playing my cards in the right order to give myself that best shot to draw what I need. So that I can be playing that quick ball before that research to get rid of that Pokemon that you don't need. You can be playing that Mirage Gate before the Colress so you don't redraw into those energies. It's going to be, no matter what deck you play, no matter the situation, the way you play your cards is important. And it can pretty much dictate sometimes whether you win or lose the game. And you might not know it or not if you are not paying attention. Or that's why I do like recording my games and watching them back, because at the time I just sort of think I'm playing it correctly and I'm moving along, but after I watched them back, I realized, hey, I should have played that Pokegear first. I should have played that Quick Ball first, because even though it doesn't always matter, like I can't say for certain I would have hit the card that I needed because I played my cards correctly. I know for certain, at least if I sequenced correctly, I did everything in my power to give myself the best opportunities to win. And before I get into this first sequencing situation, I wanted to touch on one gameplay scenario that I very frequently see newer players make, and that is when you draw your opening 7 cards. And let's just say you're going second, and I have 2 cards, 2 basic Pokemon in my hand, and I just play them both down. What the heck? What do I have to lose? And before Sword and Shield, when your opponent could play a supporter on their first turn, and they play like an N or something and disrupt your hand, yes, you always wanted to put both of those Pokemon down so you wouldn't lose them to hand disruption. But in today's game, there's absolutely nothing you can gain by dropping both of those Pokemon. Let's just say I'm playing Arceus Duraludon, and I have an Arceus and a Duraludon in my opening hand. I put the Arceus inactive and the Duraludon on the bench. What is going to go wrong here? My opponent plays an Escape Rope, and I go into my Duraludon, and then I have to find a switching card in order to Trinity Charge on my first turn. But also, the more important thing and the more universal takeaway from this situation is that my opponent now knows exactly what I'm playing. If I just open that Arceus V, my opponent still has to guess what I'm playing. He might go for a different strategy based on what with that limited information. But if I show that Duraludon right off the bat, they know what I'm playing, and they might play differently with that information. And just an important part is just giving your opponent as little information as possible. That it's such a little thing, but it really matters. So it may seem trivial, but just don't do it. There's no reason to ever do that. It's just don't. And now we'll get into the sequencing situation here. So let's just imagine here I have like a 25 card deck, and I need an energy card to win the game. So first, I'd like you guys to comment down below or just guess at home or not guess, but just tell me at home how you'd play this hand. And then I'll give you a couple seconds. Okay, and you can pause the video if you need more time to think about it. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I need to hit this energy to win the game. If I do not, I lose. So I'm going to first play this Quick Ball and get a Pokemon card out of my deck. Let's just imagine for this hypothetical situation, Quick Ball is not discarding a card, and I just need to get it to find a Pokemon. So what am I going to do next? Next, I'm going to use Pokegear 3.0, and let's just say I'm hitting a supporter that's not going to draw me any more cards. Like I hit a boss's orders or something like that. I still need to hit its energies. So next, I'm going to go for Mew's Mysterious Tail, and the reason why I went for the Mew after the Pokegear and the Quick Ball is because let's just say I have more energy Lottos in deck that I could find energies with. And this is what the rule I'm going to try to reinforce in this video is specific to general. I'm going to go with my specific cards first, and they're the ones that specifically do not help me in this situation. A basic Pokemon does not help me. A supporter is not going to help me. So I'm going for the specific cards that are certainly going to grab the one thing I do not need, and then I'm going to move toward the more general cards that do not have a specified thing that they draw to try to find the piece that I need. So since Mew has a higher odd of drawing a more general card that can help me find what I need to do to win, I'll be using it after I use my two most specific cards that do not help me. And let's just say Mew hypothetically grabs me something that does not help me. So I'm taking 3 cards out of my deck, so I'm down to 22 cards. So what should I do next? I'm going to use that trekking shoes, because even though it's not the most specific card in my hand, it's the most general card. It can draw any cards. It can still hit me the energy that I need to win, but I took a couple cards out of the deck, and it can take at max 2 more bad cards out of my deck in order to get to that energy I need. And you might already be thinking to yourself, why haven't I used Pokestop now? Pokestop can help me get 3 cards deeper, and it could help me get closer to winning, find me more items, which can thin out my deck even further. But the reason why I'm saving Pokestop for the end is it's such a double-edged sword, and that I play this energy Lotto first, and if I hit this energy, I win the game, and we move on. But this Pokestop could end up milling 3 energies, and that's like sort of the unknown here. That Pokestop, yes, it could give me 3 items, and yes, I could thin out my deck even further with it. Pokestop is sort of our last resort in this situation. Maybe it gives me more energy Lottos or an energy surge or something, and I can draw more cards. But in this specific instance that I'm laying down here, Pokestop is dangerous because I could end up milling energies and give myself less outs. I could end up milling those item cards and have more less cards I need in the deck. So it's an unknown. We're saving the unknown for the end. We're going to go with what we know first. So. And then Energy Lotto, of course, always hits energy, so we always win this game. And now we're going to move on to our second scenario. And now we're on to our second scenario here, and we save this one for the end, because all these people who've already clicked off my video miss out on the more complex scenario. So that's why we saved the best for last. And this is one that's probably going to be more common to you than that previous scenario. That one was supposed to be more general to everyday, every game sort of knowledge. This one's going to be much more specific to Lost Zone Box in general. And this one's a lot more harder to define, because you probably could ask 3 different people on how they play this hand, and they probably all say a different thing. But let's just say hypothetically, we need to find one more. We need to find our Sky Seal Stone to win this game. So how are we going to play this hand best to find that Sky Seal Stone to win? So first, we're going to play that Mirage Gate. We're going to sell our energies to our V Pokemon. Let's just say it's a Dragonite V in this scenario. We do this because we do not want to draw these energies back, because not only are they bad cards that do not help us, we need them to put on our Dragonite V. So if we draw them out of the deck, then we can't attach them. So, and then next we are going to, let's just say we have another energy to put on our Dragonite. We're going to Quick Ball and discard a card, thin out a basic Pokemon. And then next we are going to use Greninja's concealed cards. In this, let's just say in this particular situation, getting this Sky Steel Stone will not win us the game. So we do not want to just go all willy-nilly and potentially Lost Zone cards that might be destructive to our end game. So we're going to put the Greninja before the Comfey because we want to keep these cards. We want to sort of dig into. We can find more pieces to thin out into these flower selectings, into the chorus, and then this is probably the situation where most people would differ. I don't know if there's a whole lot of difference between the next two cards, and that's whether you Comfey first or you chorus first. And if you've watched any of my videos where I play Lost Box, I usually chorus before I flower selecting, and my sort of thought behind it is that chorus, you're more likely to draw two bad cards. You're more likely to draw two bad cards, and I guess you're more likely to draw 5 good cards than you are. I don't know. I think it's not a whole lot of difference whether you Comfey first or you chorus first. My personal preference is to chorus first because more can go wrong with those 2 cards with Comfey. Like you can draw double Ordinary Rod off that Comfey, and you have these also in one. But you can draw double Ordinary Rod off a chorus, and you don't have to Lost Zone either of them. But in this particular scenario, that doesn't necessarily matter. But yeah, in this situation, we're trying to dig into the deck and find that Sky Seal Stone. But I'm just saying, in general, I prefer to chorus because we have a little more margin for error, seeing 5 cards and Lost Zoning 2 than we have seeing 2 and Lost Zoning 1. So, and then we chorus, and then we, let's say we don't hit any more cards to thin out our deck, and then we flower selecting, and of course hit Sky Seal Stone, and then we retreat into our Dragonite and win. So, if you have any questions about this, I hope this all makes sense. I tried to put a lot of effort into this one, and make these graphics sort of informative. If there's any questions, please let me know in the comments. We're definitely closing in on 200 subscribers, so if you haven't hit it already, please smash that subscribe button if you got something from this video, and comment if there are any other guides you'd like me to make. I'm more than happy to make them. So, once again, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day, and this has been Alloutblitzle. I'll catch you in the next one.